So I guess we'll start off with the NFC Championship team, the Packers.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So obviously I want to start off with this because it's probably the most controversial team right now. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has been on this podcast multiple times, and he's going to make another appearance today. So obviously the main question on everybody's minds is he staying? He's already made minicamp issues. Like the receivers don't want to come to minicamp. He might sit out this entire season. So I guess the main question is like, does he go to Denver? Is he going to go to a different team? Is he staying? What's he doing?
Well, it just seems more like staying seems like less likely. I don't know. It's weird, man, because the front like you're not hearing about it anymore. It's kind of like they've just both sides have just gone and stopped worrying about it. Like Aaron Rodgers is just doing his thing, playing golf and whatnot,
Yeah,
and then the Packers aren't saying anything. All they're saying is that we're not trading him. But I mean, if he's not going to play, and you're starting to build this hype amongst your fan base about Jordan Love, also. So
yeah,
it's you're going to start to get to a point where the majority of the fan base is kind of just going to be like, okay, well, that like at this point, I don't even want Aaron Rodgers anymore. As crazy as that is to say,
yeah,
when you're a diehard fan base and your favorite player doesn't want to be there anymore, you kind of just say, oh, well, fuck off then. Like if you don't want to be here, then we're not going to beg you to stay. Thanks for what you did with your
yeah,
whole one championship that you won, and we'll move on to Jordan Love.
yeah. I guess the question is, let's just assume that Aaron Rodgers leaving and Jordan Love does take over. Like they've been to the NFC Championship game, I want to say either 3 or 4 years in a row now, right?
Yeah,
Do they
I don't think it's in a row, but they've been four times in like recent like 6 or 7 years. Yeah,
Okay, so pretty common, like
yeah.
recent. Okay, is it safe to say that they'll be back with Jordan Love? Do you think they take a huge step
Mm,
back?
it with Jordan Love, probably no, because you can almost pencil in Tampa Bay as one,
So even with
and
Jordan Love,
then
okay, like the chemistry with Devontae Adams and Aaron
well,
Rodgers, like do you
that's a
still?
problem too, is that Devonte Adams might not want to be there anymore either.
Yeah,
Um, So that's interesting. Also, yeah. If they don't have Aaron Rodgers, they're definitely not a conference championship team to me. I'd have I have to think about it, but there'd be multiple teams. I'd have probably two teams from the NFC West alone being better than the Packers. Um, they might not even win their division with Jordan Love the first year. That
wow,
obviously like he stepped because it would be his first year. Like he could be better down the line, but like I don't they don't have like you've seen Aaron Rodgers struggles. Okay, they
yeah,
really don't have that much talent on the team. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I
Like
agree.
there's really good players here and there. Like Devonte Adams is great. Jared Alexander is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Darnell Savage is pretty good. They've historically had a really good offensive line. Not so much now.
Yeah,
Aaron Jones is really solid, but like as a outside of those four or five guys, it's kind of like, ugh,
yeah,
is Valdez Scantling really any good? Like he's
exactly.
fast and
Yeah,
he makes great plays, but he also drops balls. It's kind of like
Aaron Rodgers
I don't
definitely
know.
makes those guys like Alan Lazard and MVS shine,
Right.
and I don't
Exactly.
think they're gonna have the same, I guess, production without Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. I agree. Kind of
So
like when Tom Brady, like obviously the Patriots are a little bit different, but when Tom Brady left there, they didn't have the most talent at receiver and stuff either. That's why he left. But they still made the playoffs and they still, kind of almost beat Tennessee. It was close. They had a chance at the end in the playoff game. And then he leaves and they bring in his replacement, Cam Newton, and they're terrible. So it could be a similar type of situation there where they just don't
yeah,
have enough guys.
yeah, they might have to change their identity to kind of fit Jordan Love, like maybe lean on Aaron Jones a little bit more.
Yeah,
Ever since he got that big payday too, so
it really comes down to the coaching. Like you see, you know, they probably didn't bring in the right guy for Bill Belichick's offense in New England. But then you look at other examples like Drew Brees getting hurt in New Orleans, and they have no problems at all.
yeah,
So depending on how Matt LaFleur can build a scheme around Jordan Love, as opposed to forcing Jordan Love to play his scheme, if that makes sense, uh, that would make a huge difference in how they finish.
Yeah. And just to piggyback off of that, because you brought LaFleur in, like, if he doesn't, let's just assume Aaron Rodgers leaves, obviously, and if he doesn't have a good season with Love, do you think he's in the hot seat this season? Just because of what happened in the last championship game with the decision of kicking a field goal over trying to go for it.
I don't know if I don't necessarily know that he might be. Green Bay is kind of volatile, but
Like he might get a 1 year pass because new quarterback. You
that's
can't
what I'm
expect a
thinking
coach
too.
to do the same thing with this team. But do you think
I'm
he
kind
will be in the hot seat if he doesn't go maybe 2022 or three, whatever the next season is?
I could see that, or if they just for whatever reason really really suck in 2021, which I don't
Yeah,
see that happening either. But yeah, I don't think he'd be on the hot seat too bad this season because he would be if Aaron Rodgers was lumping him in with the reasons why he wants to leave. Like if Matt LaFleur was like, if Aaron Rodgers was like, bro, the coaching here sucks. That's why I want to go play somewhere else. But it's not. It's the ownership and the G and the
yeah,
management. So
yeah.
I think he's definitely gonna get a flyer on this season because of all the chaos. I would hope. Would be kind of unfair. I know the field goal decision in the playoff game was a little bit suspect, but at the same time, you had him in third down and you committed pass interference. So
Yeah.
if they don't commit pass interference, you're kind of sitting there like, oh, never mind. Maybe that was a good decision because then now you only need what do they need a field goal to win if they got the ball back?
True. Not
So
to
it's like,
mention, I mean, it wasn't until that could have been like if we go back and talk about that game for a quick second. Aaron Rodgers had a running lane as big as a Mack truck to get into
yeah,
the touchdown zone,
and
and he
he
chose to
threw it.
force a throw.
Yes,
So, I mean, it's not always the coach because that could have been a touchdown.
everybody always goes to the last play. You ever notice that whenever you watch
Yeah.
a playoff game, they don't pay
The
attention to any of the plays
the
that
refs
happen.
screwed us, and it's like, okay, well, what
Yes,
did you do to get to this point in the
there's a
game to even have it
whole
depend
entire
on this
game.
one play? Yep.
You can't blame Matt LaFleur for Kevin King falling asleep on Scotty Miller before halftime. You
Yep.
can't like there's so many different things that happen throughout. You can't blame Matt LaFleur for your offensive line getting hoed by
They
Shaq
don't. It's
Barrett.
shifted. Like
Like,
the whole first half was the defense not being able to, slow them down. And
yeah.
oh my God, the weather is supposed to be cold, and that's supposed to. No,
Yeah.
Tom Brady's been doing this for a long time.
Right, but all we want to talk about is taking a field goal in a position that probably half the coaches in the NFL would have took a field goal right there. It's
Yeah, I
not.
mean they want
It
to.
wasn't a crazy decision, especially considering, like you just said, what happened previously, where Aaron Rodgers had a touchdown and didn't take it.
Yep.
He's probably the coach has got to sit there like, oh God, like what if
What kind of
he
faith
makes
do you
some?
have after that last
Yeah,
play?
like is he going to make the right decision this time? Let's just take our 3 points and trust our defense, which was playing really well in the second
Yeah,
half,
exactly.
and they did play very well until they committed a. It was kind of a soft pass interference, but guys, it was pass interference. Get over it. You can't do what he like. Oh, they didn't call it the whole game. Well, they called it now. Like you still did it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It happens, bro. But you can't blame the refs.
Good old Packers. Yeah.
Good old
So
Packers
lots of
fans.
questions there in that on that team.